Hey YouTube, today I'm making a new video and this is a first video of a series about payments and checkouts and MRR and all the cool stuff that make exciting building your own product, because as your MRR grows, then so does your bank account, as you probably know, well, hopefully. So today I literally went on Twitter and I kind of tweeted out, I wanted to see who was out there and wanted to be featured on this new YouTube series. And yeah, a lot of responses, a lot of people wanted to be part of this. And I think I got my first guest here today is Abinaya. And the way I did this, I asked them a couple of questions in private, and I said I would compile their answers into a YouTube video. So without further ado, let's get started. So Abinaya is the founder of RemoteLeaf, and RemoteLeaf is basically a one women-led team who does the development, the marketing, the DevOps, the engineering in general, and also the design of RemoteLeaf.com. She's been working on this product for 2 years, and I probably spoke about her product earlier in my other series about landing page feedback. So I'm glad to see her again today into this new YouTube series. So what is RemoteLeaf exactly? Like, some people might be asking, how does this business make money? Well, RemoteLeaf helps job seekers save time by scouring through hundreds of jobs that are, across job boards. Especially the particularity of this one, it's like they must be remote. So if you're into the market to get hired by a remote company, you should probably check this website out. Again, RemoteLeaf.com. So the way the platform works is there's a process where all the remote jobs are funneled through some kind of engine, and then they're delivered straight into your box, your mailbox, right? Your inbox, based on the parameters and the skills and the location for those jobs. Like, okay, we can hire people who are in America, or we can hire people who are in Mexico, people who are in India, in China, etc., etc. So how did this start? That's a good question. So I asked Abinaya, and she was like, oh, the idea was born when I was starting looking for a new job a few years back. There was so many jobs out there, and only like a very small percentage, like 10% about, were applicable to her. Unfortunately, 90% of them were not applicable where she lived, and that's why she decided to build this tool. So it's kind of like out of a necessity for herself. And then she realized that there were a lot of people out there that were also in the same situation. They couldn't find jobs that were remote friendly or that they would fit their profile. So as you can see, like, she built a tool out of need. Unfortunately, she wasted a ton of time applying for jobs, before realizing that, because people weren't really good at like filtering, allowing people to filter jobs on their website. Sometimes you would apply and then you'd be declined just based on your location. Basically, those jobs were not relevant because the information was very poorly structured. So one of the advantages of RemoteLeaf, from what Abinaya was telling me, was that it's extremely well polished in terms of data structure. And for example, if you scroll down here somewhere and you go HN who's hiring, there's a free curated list of jobs that have been sourced out of Hacker News. And as you can see, everything is very well polished, everything is well organized. You can obviously use the filters here to do like a little bit of filtering, etc., etc. So RemoteLeaf is an entirely open company, and what that means is that if you ever wonder how much money RemoteLeaf is making, all you gotta do is navigate to /open, and voila, the stats will show up. So I mean, congratulations, Abinaya, $1,610 monthly recurring revenue. That is a huge goal. Tons of people would love to have the same MRR as you. And this is a beautiful page put together that tells you how many subscribers, the annual revenue, etc., etc. There's a lot here. Very interesting here is the monthly recurring cost. So let's talk a little bit about how the checkout works. So why did I choose, to do this series on checkouts? It's because I wanted to see, like, what do people use for checkouts? How do people get paid for their services? So let's have a look. So I will go, for example, post a job. So here there's a page and there's an embedded form. So reach active remote job seekers on the web. So this is the site where companies can advertise their position into RemoteLeaf so that they can enlarge or extend the reach, right? Like have more people reach out, because there's a lot of job seekers that are using RemoteLeaf. So this is how it works. So first of all, I would use an email address. Whoops, can't even spell my own email address here. Okay, let's find out of LinkedIn. I think this is a job. I'll just paste it here. And then here you decide how much do you want to spend. One-time fee, a startup fee, or business. Okay, my plan is one-time fee. So I click here and then let's see what happens. Okay, so I can see it's loading checkout by Stripe. My email is pre-filled, which is awesome. And as you probably have noticed, the Stripe checkout form is extremely well polished. You can also add a promotional code over here. So if Abinaya has a code to share on her Twitter, which I will link into the description of this video, you can go and find the promotional code, and that will maybe decrease the amount of money that you pay for the listing of your job and for your company. So here the card information is extremely simple. I'll use the test Stripe card. I'll add a date in the future, a CV, the name is Orly, landing feedback, and then here's interesting, RemoteLeaf requires a billing address. So the question here is, why do they require a billing address? And one of the most interesting features about Stripe is that they have a way for you to reduce fraud by adding verifications. And one of the verifications that you can add on Radar, Stripe Radar, is verifying that the address, your billing address, matches what you say, what you write. So if I say stole this credit card, if and the billing address wouldn't match, then the card would be declined, and that would basically cause the payment to not go through. But that would save Abinaya a lot of time, because she doesn't have to go through refund and dispute and all that kind of stuff, right? So let's see, 500, I don't know, East 5th, and then city Austin, that's where I live, 78702 Texas. Okay, and that's it. If my card was valid, I would press this and the payment would go through. Well, luckily, this is a fake card, obviously the Stripe test card, and it's not been accepted. But as you can see, it's a very clean design. All the basic information is here, and I speculated that the reason why I have to provide a billing address, it's because of security, for preventing fraud. Now let's see what happens if I go back. Okay, I'm gonna say, yeah, I don't want to go back. I don't want to save, rather, I want to go back. And there you are again. Okay, so that was very simple. Email address, job description I want to feature, and then I go do a payment. Super quick. 2 call to actions, and I would have been able to display my job on RemoteLeaf.com. So the next question I asked Abinaya was like, okay, so your payment works pretty well. Why did you choose Stripe? And there's one thing you need to know about Abinaya's company, and it's based in India. So sometimes some payment processors like Stripe or Paddle, etc., they do not accept all of the countries. Unfortunately for Abinaya, she initially went with Paddle. Paddle is another payment provider, but luckily Stripe was able to get her into the Stripe beta, and that one came to the rescue and allowed her to become, able to use Stripe in India, which is not a small feat. So as soon as she heard about this, she applied and she immediately joined, and she made it through. So too bad for Paddle. I guess that's a good lesson for payment providers, is monitor closely where the people who are building the cool products are and invite them to your beta programs. When I asked Abinaya, how long did it take to build this, to implement a payment processor that quickly? Well, she said it only took 1 day. The usage of Stripe checkout makes it super simple for people to implement payments into their app. All you gotta do is set up a couple of fields and like read some documentation, and there's a lot of examples on the Stripe website, and you can get started. I personally use Stripe checkout myself on my blog, and I think it's awesome. When I asked Abinaya, what are the features that you value the most from your current payment processor, and that's Stripe, she mentioned that it was easy integration and the support. Like Stripe has amazing customer support. They have an amazing GitHub team, basically developers on GitHub that help out. And also the fact that Stripe was accepting international payments from India, which usually is very hard because, you know, RemoteLeaf as a company based in India, they had to have a Stripe account that would work with India, and you know, for people that are in India, and etc., etc. So Stripe checkout definitely made her life easier in terms of development and also in terms of support. Those are the two key takeaways. As you can see, there's a lot of happy customers on RemoteLeaf. Here you go, a lot of happy customers. And let's see what else they ask Abinaya. Okay, when I asked if you were to use another service provider, if your current payment processor was no longer available, which one would it be? And she said Gumroad. Okay, Gumroad, everybody knows what Gumroad is, I think, or if you don't, gumroad.com. It's basically like a place where you can go and sell your own products. So like say, I don't know, Amazon, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's pick one. The recession proof bundle. I don't know who this is, but as you can see, you can sell your product. You know, you create your little page, your description, and then you create a pricing, and there you go. So Gumroad is a good alternative to RemoteLeaf, according to what Abinaya mentioned. And I agree. I mean, I've used Gumroad in the past. It's very simple to get started. You can embed this in any website pretty much, or you can link directly to your checkout page from your website. So it makes it super simple to sell something online. I also asked one last question to Abinaya about refunds, because refunds are a pain in the ass for people who are building products that make money. And the question was, what is the most common type of refunds that you have to process? And she said that sometimes customers would no longer need to be, you know, signing up to the software, or rather the service, the platform that sends them these jobs. Then they kind of ask for a refund because, well, they already found a job, or maybe they're not interested in getting a job anymore. So there's definitely a lot there that to take as a takeaway. It's like, make it simple for people to unsubscribe once they reach their goal, right? So here again, let's try another one. So the other one was the posted job side. This is looking for a job. So full stack, I want to receive it once on a Monday, and then I click here, and there's no credit card required. My billing information here, I can decide how often I want to get charged, I guess maybe yearly. And then boom, I'm sent back to the Stripe checkout page, which is built, you know, through Stripe, and voila, it's hosted by Stripe, so it's super secure, and I can subscribe, and that's done. No worries there. So thank you, first of all, thank you Abinaya for reaching out, you know, after my tweet here and wanting to share some of your information. I think, you know, your MRR and your openness are extremely critical to your success, because people that can trust founders will then be more willingly inclined to purchase their products, right? So if I were in the business for looking for a new job that's remote and I don't want to kind of like go job hunting, I think I would subscribe to RemoteLeaf.com. And all of Abinaya's social and website will be in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you into the next one, which I am putting together after this one. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoy this kind of video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Have a good day.